Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Today I'm going to be showing you a brand new 2024 Newmar Kountry Star. This is the 3717 floor plan. There are some things I really like about this floor plan. One is that it can sleep 7-8 people easily and comfortably. It also has a really great kitchen setup. We're at under 38 feet. We got 10,000 pounds of towing capacity, 360 horsepower Cummins engine built on a Freightliner chassis. So really high quality. This is one of the lower cost options that Newmar provides, but you'll see throughout it's still really built well. It's going to stand the test of time as far as quality. You can see that in the cabinetry, the way that they build things, that they're not stapled together and things like that. These are made to stand the test of time. We've got 2 3/4 inch sidewalls, R19 insulation in the roof and all the way around. This thing is going to keep the cold in when you need it to and keep the heat out, and vice versa. So let's get into some of the details of this unit. How is this going to be used most likely by families, I'm thinking. And so it has been set up with a jackknife sofa on this side. So one could easily sleep this way or put that jackknife down to make this a sleeping center, probably just for one person, or for 2 kids could sleep on there easily. On the other side though, we have a tri-fold sofa, and that means it becomes a full-size bed when it's pulled out. So that makes sleeping for 3 so far. Then we have a bunk over the driving area here, and I'll show you how that works. It's just an electric switch right here. Not a lot of fuss to get ready for bed when it's time. That took about 10 seconds to get that down. We've got a ladder up here that hooks on, and you can climb right up there. Honestly, 2 adults could probably sleep up there, but it's not super wide. But again, it could be done if it needed to be. And put that right back up, and then you'll see you can hardly even tell it's there. We've got some really nice cabinets in the cab area. And as in any Class A motorhome, both of these, the driver and passenger seats, will turn around, so you can make this into a sitting area as well. So sitting area here, we've got lots of room for people. TV here on a lift, and that can be put away when we're not using it. So I'll show you how that works. It's just an easy to push button, and then that will go away, and you've got some really great windows that you can look out of when it's not time for TV anymore. Another thing that the Kountry Star has is windows that open, and I love that they open the way they do, because you can have them open even when it's raining, and they've got screens already built in, but these are just really easy twist open, and you'll see all the way around we've got windows, so we can get a lot of fresh air and ventilation in here. And then they seal up really nicely when it's time for travel, so they're not going to make a lot of noise or anything like that. Around this area we of course have some cabinets, and as I said, Newmar builds a really high quality cabinet. You can see that with the hinges and the solid wood that's going on here. These are not wrapped with a sticker or anything like that. This is a high quality build. When they're traded in, I see often that they just are still in the same shape that they were when they were originally purchased, and that says a lot about the build quality. You can't necessarily tell when it's brand new on the lot, but you can tell after a year or more of use. Another thing is we've got these carpeted throughout all the cabinets and shelves in here. That's going to really keep down vibration and things moving around, breaking and things like that. So I like that they go that extra step there. We have one more cubby here as well, and then some on the opposing side here. I'll show you real quick. So this one's a little bit deceptive because we've got slide out mechanism and insulation up here, but they give you as much as they can. This one is for your audio-visual equipment, and that's why it's glass here, so that it can read what you're doing with the remote control through the glass and not have to have it open. You've got a Bose soundbar right here, and then a little bit more cabinet space. You'll see that we have LED lights throughout, And the reason that that's worth pointing out is that they have great longevity. They also don't heat up the coach. So in the old days when we had regular lights, these lights would get super hot in here. Of course, you'd have to switch them out all the time because they were always burning out. So having LED lights throughout is really a great thing to have inside and out of the coach, actually. So we've got those all the way throughout. We do have a vinyl plank floor, which is great for keeping clean. Again, if you're going to have 8 people in here, it's going to get a little dirty. So it's nice to have that. But we also have a built-in central vacuum system to help keep up with that. This here is your kick plate. So you would sweep to that place and that would suck all that debris away. We also have a place over here for a hose, more like a traditional home. And that just goes into a bag in the basement. You can swap that bag out when it gets full. Another sleeping area here, which also is your booth dinette. This can convert into a bed quite easily. You just push down on this piece, and then there's a pad in the back that you'll see would go over this spot just to make it into a bed. But right now we're going to just make it into a table again. You lock that into place and that'll be secure for you to have meals. Under this booth situation, we have a little bit more storage, and that's the same on both sides here. And then I love this kitchen setup. It's just really clever. This piece stays out all the time. The slide out actually is this whole piece here that goes behind the pantry area there. So that's going to come up to about here when the slides close, and I will show you that in a little bit. But even when the slides close, you can still get into this side of the sink and use your sprayer and all of that. When it's open, you do have 2 sides of stainless steel sink. This is a solid surface countertop. So it looks really nice. It's a little bit heavy. It's going to be easy to maintain. You can buff out any scratches that you get over the course of the motorhome's life. And then we've got some storage under here as well. They even included a trash can that fits. It's the little things, right? Okay, we've got some more kitchen storage here. And again, these are all lined with that felt carpeting. The shelves are going to be adjustable as well. Up here a little bit more. And we've got quite a bit of counter space going back here. Another thing that you can't see from your view is that we have 110 outlets scattered around, and they're underneath so that they're not making it look ugly. They're just nice and tucked away, so you can put your coffee maker and whatnot on the countertop there. And then we've got some more storage. We've got some touch-up paint in here. This is for when you put your water filter on and off. It just helps you get a good grip. And then some remote controls. Nice full extension drawers. And soft close as well. Now over here, this is something you don't see a lot, especially in Newmars, but in motorhomes in general, is a propane cooktop. And they've cleverly made this so that it hinges back, so you don't have to put this piece away. It also doubles as a splash guard for your tile. So when you're cooking here, it's not going to make a mess behind you. But you also don't have to lift these and find a place to put them, which I think is really clever. 3 burners here on your cooktop. And then when you're done, you can just put this right back away and not have that exposed all the time. Use this as your countertop surface too. All right, a little bit more storage underneath here. You'll notice this storage is where an oven would typically be, but we have a convection microwave oven here. That means you can actually bake in this microwave here. It'll crisp your pizza, your cookies, etc. They also have added an air fry function here. So one less appliance that you're going to have to bring along with you. And there's the inside of that, just some extra components for you, but it's really quite spacious. Then we have one of our exhaust fans above here. Those are going to just help get steam or smoke, things like that, out of here really nicely and easily. But Newmar goes the extra step and makes it a nice decorative cover so there's not plastic on the roof of your living area. Another thing that they do is cover the air conditioning vents, and that's what this is up here. So again, you'll notice there's not plastic all over the ceiling making it look like a camper. It looks like a home. We do have two 15,000 BTU air conditioning units on this coach, and they both have heat pumps already integrated, but those covers just make it look a lot prettier. All right, going into the hall area, we've obviously got your residential refrigerator with water in the door here. Nice and big. This is a residential, as I said. So that's going to run off the 110. And then we have a freezer down here with an ice maker. So the ice goes into that area. And then you got lots of space down here as well. Newmar also adds these really cool locks. So you just slide that over and you don't have to worry about the doors coming open when you're taking a corner. We've got a nice pantry here. Really deep shelves. So you could actually put quite a lot. We've got your manual bag there, so full of manuals from all the different manufacturers that are included in the coach. A little bit more space in this pantry. And then, of course, we've got some more up above here. That goes back pretty deep. I think I missed one here. There's one above the refrigerator as well. I don't know what you're going to put up there, but use your imagination. All right. Another cool thing that we've got here. Not only do we have these great touch panel lights throughout, most of these that you see are going to be light. There could be a fan here or there and a water pump on these little controls. They vary according to what area they're in the coach. But we also have this really great centralized brain here. So here at the home screen, we can turn on the water pump. We can check our house and chassis battery levels, our water tanks. How much do I have in my propane and my black tank, etc.? Do I need to go dump? Do I need to fill up? You can just push this button and you'll know the answer. You also can do all lights on and off from here. It's a really quick, I just want some light on so I can start making my coffee in the morning kind of a deal. Or you can go in individually and do it in a more specific manner. So when I came in today, I did all, and then I went accent lights all on as well. So I can go through and just make sure everything's turned on just by this easy panel here throughout the whole coach. This is my HVAC system. We've got two zones, living room and bedroom. So front and back basically. And you're of course gonna have that air conditioning I was telling you about. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, it's not gonna work for me because we're turned off. But anywho, we got air conditioner. We've got a heat furnace in here that's run off the propane and heat pumps as well. And then we do have an auto gen start system. So that can be set to do certain times of day or when your battery levels are getting low, or if you want your HVAC to turn on. So that means if it's a hot day and you're saying if it gets to a certain temperature in here, I would like the air conditioner to be able to function. Well, you're going to need the generator for that. So you can set it so that the HVAC it'll kick on for that for you. And this is all stuff that we teach you during your orientation walkthrough. We spend about 2 hours with you answering any questions and walking through all of this stuff so you really know how to use your coach. So now we're at the bathroom. This coach has one bathroom, and you'll notice this really cool pivoting door. The reason that it does that is because when the slides are in, this hallway gets pretty narrow, and that's going to make it so that you can get into here a lot easier with the slides closed. So back in this bathroom here, we have another one of those exhaust fans. And I'm going to open up all this storage so you can see exactly the space you have here. And then I'm going to step back so you can get a good peek at it. There we go. We've got an electric flushing macerating toilet here. Also a 110 down there. The other thing that you might not be seeing right now is that we have an emergency exit door. Something that Newmar offers that most other brands don't. So most other brands are going to rely on your emergency exit window for you to crawl out backwards and jump from. It's really not the best design because it's a long way to jump if there were an emergency. And whereas this is really, really safe, makes a lot of sense. So if there were to be an emergency, this door can be opened. There is a ladder that drops down from right there. If you undo the Velcro, it'll just drop down for you and you can climb out easily. This also can be used for fresh air or to throw out your laundry or whatever it is you need to get out of the coach. But it is just a very, very smart and convenient thing to have here, especially if there were an emergency. There we go. And also this window does open just like those ones in the front area I was showing you. All right. Then we have a shower here. We've got a really great skylight there, and really double function of that is so that the taller folks can fit in there easily. Shower door also has a lock on it, so when you're driving, it won't be banging back and forth. All right. As we go back into the master bedroom, not the bastard bedroom, we've got a really great privacy door here. And Newmar, of course, built this to be pretty as well as functional. Locks into place when it's all the way over, and it'll lock into place when it's over here, so you're not messing with silly locks and plastic pieces to get that to seal away. We have a king-size bed here and some storage around, you'll see. And then we'll get into the details as well here. First thing I want to show you is under the bed we do have some storage. They hinge these really nicely, so they're very easy to get up and down. And as I promised, that's the piece that goes to the booth dinette to make it a bed. But if you don't need that, just leave that at home and you'll have more storage under your bed. Great place to put your linens and things like that. Now on both sides of the bed, we have an exact replica. I'll show you or explain it to you on this side. We have USB ports and a 110. We have a place to set your alarm or your water or your phone, whatever. A little bit of room down here. Keep some water bottles, books, whatever you keep next to your bed. And then above, we of course have more storage. It's the same on both sides, so I'm only going to show you the one side. But again, this is a nice carpeted area. We do have a 110 outlet in the middle back there. And the reason they did that is if you were to have the sleep apnea machine, you can put it up there, and then there's a place to put your tubing here where they've actually put a sealed hole here. So if you need it, you can remove that cover and put your tubing through here. I know that comes in really handy. It was an issue for a long time, and Newmar came up with a great solution. Now under here, we also have the ability to turn on our outside security light. We have our accent lighting for this room, left and right hand reading lights, back lighting buttons so this doesn't glow at me. And then I can actually hit all off. So when it's time for bed, I don't have to go around and individually turn things off. I can just hit all off and that will handle that for me. So really nice to have that just right there. You don't have to get back out of bed to go turn everything off. Right here we have your hanging closet. There is a light in there. I just neglected to turn it on for you, but that's what that looks like. In here we have access to your electrical panel. So really easy to be able to reset that stuff in here rather than having to go outside for stuff. So that's nice. And then here we just have access to your washing machine controls so you can winterize that unit back there without having to do too much work to get access to it. All right, here we have a washer and dryer. All really, really nice when you're on the road to be able to have your own laundromat, not have to go into a questionable laundromat. Who knows what they washed before you, and who knows who's hanging out in there. You've got your own stuff in there. You know that they didn't wash rocks right before yours. I've heard some stories. Here we have another one of those audio-visual cabinets. It's glass here so that it can be read. Your remote can be read through there if you have a cable box or Blu-ray player, whatever. Flat screen TV. And of course, more storage. Now down below we have 3 of the exact same size drawers. And then we have 2 of these really deep ones here. So these go down really, really far. I mean, that's a good size drawer right there. And then up here, 2 more. And I know I'm not pointing out every 110 in here, but they are in a lot of places. There happens to be one over here hiding a little bit. They really are well thought out in this Newmar. I'm going to start putting slides in so we can see what it looks like in travel mode, and then we'll check out the cab area and the external storage. This coach has 4 slides. That's quite a few for a Newmar. Normally they have a full wall slide and then 2 opposing slides. That's most common for them. This one happens to have another one because of the unique floor plan. But as I've said many times, Newmar slides are notorious for being very reliable. Always a good idea to keep an eye on what you're sliding into or out of, just to make sure nothing is going to be getting caught up or jamming the mechanism. All right. Now those last 2 controls are above the driver's seat here. Tucked away in this cabinet here. And you'll also see on this cabinet we have the tankless hot water heater control. So we do have a continuous hot water system on here. We have awning controls, our inverter, security lights, and outside step here. And then we have the 2 slide out controls right here. So highly accessible right when you walk in the door. All right, one more slide. Newmar also integrates the locking arms into here, so you don't have to worry about putting those loose locks in here. It actually is a scissor lock here. So nice that you don't have to worry about the slide's integrity as it's going down the road, getting jiggled about all the time. All right, almost done. All right, and as you can see, with the slides in, I can not only walk through, but if you have people riding along with you, they are comfortably going to be able to sit. They could even watch TV going down the road or just enjoy the view. We could sit here at the booth dinette table as well. And there are seat belts scattered throughout. I just didn't show you all of those, but be happy to take pictures of those if you're interested in this coach and send them off to you. I can easily get into this kitchen area. Refrigerator is going to be a little bit tight, but I would recommend using this door to put all the stuff you want on the road. All right, you can get to that back bedroom to take a nap or what have you, but you will have to crawl up on the bed because all of the walk around space is closed up at this point, but that's how they get the spacious slides to go. All right. Okay, let's check out this front cab area. This is again a Freightliner chassis. I'm a big fan of these for a few reasons. One, they're reliable, well built, but also the company is really good at helping us out when we need them to. Like, we need a part, they can get it to us very, very quickly. They're easy to work on. We are a Freightliner Oasis Center, so that means that we are known for our great service on Freightliners as well as other manufacturers, but we're big fans of the Freightliners here. So one of the things I love about the Freightliner is this beautiful glass dash. Very easy to see, very easy to read, very easy to modify. And right now I had it in the settings screen. So this is where your normal screen would be, but say you want to change some things, like I want to look at other gauges, I can do that. I can also change my steering effort. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I went one too many. So steering effort is the comfort drive steering. That's going to help keep you in the middle of the road, keep you driving straight. Even if it's windy or there are a lot of divots in the road, it's a fantastic system. Most motorhomes don't have anything like this. So when you drive some of the other, even very well-known, reputable brands, they don't have this, and it makes a huge difference in your exhaustion at the end of the day of driving, of the comfort of driving. Also, your turning radius is going to be fantastic in here. And I can't even tell you how many times I've told people on test drives, take it a little tighter, take it a little tighter, and they are shocked at how well they can turn in this thing. But again, that's something you have to experience. I can't really explain it to you, unfortunately. We also have a mobile eye system on here, and that is going to be giving you warnings if you're getting too close to the people in front of you. We also have a lane departure warning and a speed limit indicator, intelligent high beams on here, as well as other things that you can see here, tripometer, diagnostics, etc. So very comprehensive, very easy to use system. And then we also have, of course, your phone can be connected up here, and your cruise controls right at your fingertips. That's pretty much a normal situation for most drivers. This is something that's fairly new that only the Freightliner chassis has. And what it is here is that your transmission shifter is right here on the column. So I've got drive, I've got neutral, which is going to be your park, and then reverse is just right here. Now if I wanted to, you can hear that that turned on my backup camera, which has sound. So if my partner in this trip was back there saying, come on, come back, or go to the right, I'd be able to hear it. So that's very helpful. You can turn the volume off if it's not necessary for you, but it is a good thing to have as a feature, especially if someone's saying, stop, 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 stop. And then we go back to neutral, which is park, and that'll hopefully turn that off. Yep, there we go. We also have the ability to put this into manual or automatic here, and we also have an integrated engine brake. So that's just a very simple off or on. So off is now, on is there. And what that's going to do is just slow you down, similar to a Jake brake, but it's not quite a Jake brake. It's not loud like that. It's just going to help you slow down very, very easily when you take your foot off the gas. All right. So up here, this is obviously your backup camera. When you turn on your turn signals, it will become your side view camera. And then we have your DVD player. It also has Bluetooth capability. So if you wanted to put your navigation into your phone, you can Bluetooth it to that there. We have front visor and shade on a powered button here, and they'll only go down halfway when you're driving, which is a great safety feature. Now, when you're turned off, of course, it'll go all the way down, and you can have, you know, nighttime, it'll be nice and dark. We also have overhead fans. You can start your generator here, and then we have your air horn on or off, and that's just going to be if you want to sound like a semi-truck. You can have that capability. If you want it to be quieter, more like a car horn, you turn that off and it'll be just a little beep. And the reason you would want that is if you're in a RV park, you're not going to want to be making a really loud noise unnecessarily. Little place for your phone here, entry door lock, and then we've got some storage here. This is actually a cover for this if you wanted to do that, but it's just put in here for now because you don't have to choose that. A little bit more storage in here. And then you'll see we've got power on our seat here. Oh, sorry about that. That was my clipboard. So I can move that back and forth. I can tip it forward or back. And then controls to turn these around, tip the seat back, things like that. Oh, one thing I missed is we do have your EQ smart leveling system here. This is a hydraulic leveling system. Very simple to use. Power, auto level, and those jacks will start going down, or I'll retract when it's time to get going. This will beep at you or have an alarm if you have the engine running and the jacks are even a little bit down. They don't want you to drive off with them down. Of course, that would do a lot of damage. So this does have a really great integrated alarm just in case you forgot to do that. So nice to have that built in. All right, as we head out the door, there are just a couple things to note at the passenger side. We do have a table here that can be used for the person sitting here. It's kind of like having, like on an airplane. And there we go. So they just have a place to sit and have a sandwich or write postcards, whatever that is, and then it can just be put away there. I always do it the wrong way, but I don't own one of these. I just play with them at work. So, and then they also have an ability to put the step cover out, which is going to make this floor flat. I can't actually put it down when I'm standing in here, but it'll make the floor flat so your puppies don't fall down. We have a map light for this person, and then the patio light is here as well. And then on this side we have the battery disconnect, so that's going to turn everything in the house portion off. Say you're leaving for the day or something and you aren't plugged in, you don't want to waste any battery draw, you can just click this off really quick like that. So really nice to have that. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that this is of course your screen door. Here, I'll open the main door so you can see what I'm talking about. So screen door, you can see this is open right now. The reason they do that is because you have a retractable screen. It's going to make this a much more pleasant passenger experience that they can see through here just through a clear door. It's also safer for the driver to be able to see well. But when you need a screen, you need a screen. So if you're going to be using this as a screen, you just are going to seal these pieces off and then the bugs won't be getting in. So really well thought out. These are things they don't have to do, but they do because they want to, Newmar. And I love that they build such a good quality coach. All right. So nice stout door. This isn't going to blow in and out with the wind. It's actually takes a little bit of effort to put it in and out. So I appreciate that, again, because other brands don't build it that way, and sometimes it's windy and these doors will come and hit you out of nowhere. It's unexpected. We also have a really nice awning just over this door here. Say it's raining and you just need to bring groceries in. You don't want to put everything out and go to all that effort. You can just put this little one out and it's ready to go. We do also have a full patio awning here. We have slide toppers on our slides as well, so that's going to help protect from debris getting in there, or if it's raining or snowing, it won't get inside of the coach. It'll keep it outside and keep it out of your slide outs. We've got your diesel fuel fill right here, and quite separate from the DEF because people were mistakenly putting DEF in the diesel tank and vice versa and making concrete engines. But here's where we start, our storage bays. Again, really nice felt carpeting that's going to help with things moving around and making a lot of noise. You notice how thick this door is? That's all going to be insulated. That's going to help with sound, also keeping the elements out, the heat or the cold. Now I want you to see down here, we have quite a bit of insulation under the basement storage. That's going to help protect the things in here as well. which includes your water tanks. So helps you to not freeze those up. We also have quite a bit of insulation under the actual motorhome floor. So we've got another 2.5 to 3 inches there. You'll also notice that the chassis rail, this is right in front of me here, this big one. So that's how the chassis come. They don't come with all of these extra structures. Newmar does that, and so they weld this star foundation, is what they call it, onto the chassis rail. It goes all the way up here so that your floor is not sitting on that chassis rail, not making noise and vibrating and breaking your tiles and things. It also helps you to not bend and twist going down the road. That's going to help keep all the structural integrity of this coach over the years, meaning your cabinetry, the floor won't be popping out those tiles and things like that. It's a really great way to keep this going for 10, 20, 30 years. And we do see these coaches get traded in after those periods of time, and they are still in great shape. Just makes me believe in them even more. Another storage bay here. And we even have 110 outlets underneath here. There's one right here. We also have your vacuum cleaner components there that get hooked in if you're to use the hose system on this one. This paint is a full body paint. It really does stand the test of time. It doesn't fade, crack, and get yucky like a lot of other brands do. And then down here we actually have a TV in a compartment with a Bose soundbar. What a nice idea to watch TV under some awnings. Or if you're tailgating, this is a fun thing to do as well. We've got Michelin tires all the way around. These are 22.5s. And a tire pressure monitoring system is integrated in this coach as well. Back here we've got another storage bay. And then we're going to be getting into the engine area here. So we've got your chassis batteries or your engine batteries there. We've got a disconnect for those batteries there. Your emissions system is down here. You don't need to worry about that too much. Once in a while you'll have to change the filter, but it's not for a very, very long time. All right, back here we have rear radiator, and you'll see that we have access to some filters. We can check our engine oil here, transmission fluid there as well. So they make that accessible even though you've got your rear radiator here. We also have 10,000 pounds of towing capacity here, and a 7-way pin and an air system already integrated there. Backup camera is housed way up there, so you can keep a good eye on your tow vehicle or just whoever's sneaking up behind you. We have a ladder here. And on this side, a little bit more storage. Our engine block heater plug-in is right there. And lights in all these bays. I think I needed to do that a little more seriously. All right, here we have your 50 amp, 50-foot long cord, as well as your transfer switch with your surge protector already built in right here. That's a really good thing to have. Here we have your DEF tank. It does have a gauge on there so you know what's going on. You also have a reader on your front screen, so when you're driving you'll know if you need to fill up your DEF next time. This is just a place that you can put some dirty things. If you have gloves or anything like that that you want to keep separate from the rest of your stuff, oil perhaps, you can put it in there. There is a hole at the bottom of this compartment so you can also rinse it and wash it out. You can see one of your leveling jacks back there, just the foot of it. That's where that mechanism is. It's just kind of cool to see them once in a while. Usually they're so hidden. Here we've got your water bay, and again Newmar went above and beyond and did this nice etched design here rather than putting stickers everywhere. Over the years, the stickers, you can't read them anymore. They fade and peel off and things like that. So you're always going to know what's what on here. Your suit, you've got a rinse for your black tank, which is a really great thing to have. And then your water supply. This is a whole house water filter. And then you just pop this off and put in a new one when it's time. We don't put them in until delivery time because we don't want them getting yucky for you. But outdoor shower, we also have a light in here to make that a lot easier for you. And your drains, everything really easy to access and to know where it's at. This here is the bottom of your emergency exit door that we saw in that bathroom area. So you can see this is a much better height if you needed to get out than a window would be, which would be all the way there. Down here we have your central vac system, so that's where you're going to change your bags. You can also hook those hoses up to that vacuum system right there and vacuum out your basement. More storage. You'll notice these are not quite as tall, and that's because we've got a slide out down here, a nice good sized one. And here we have your propane tank as well as your house batteries. We've got 6 batteries there. This is the other side of your diesel fuel fill. So you can fill both of these at the same time, save you time at the pump. We do have 100 gallons of diesel capacity on here, 10 gallons of DEF capacity. We also have 105 gallons of water capacity on here. So you really can be out for a while. Now I just popped the hood to the generator compartment. We have an 8,000 Cummins Onan diesel quiet generator, and that's housed right here. You can turn it on or off, check the hours, things like that under this hood here. We have another light. We've got your air horns there as well. All right. So that's about it for this 2024 Newmar Kountry Star. This is a brand new unit, and we hope to hear from you regarding this or anything else we have on the lot. Please ask for me by name. I'm Teresa Crawley. I'm happy to help you. Have a great rest of your day.